Am I the only person who thought this movie was predictable? Saltburn is the sophomore feature from Academy Award winning screenwriter Emerald Fennell, who also directed the picture as well. The film stars Barry Keoghan, Rosamund Pike, Jacob Elordi, Richard E. Grant, and Barry Keoghan's wiener. In this video, I'm going to talk about the film, what I thought of it. There may be some spoilers, and what are its Oscar chances this award season. So this is Meet the Contenders, Saltburn.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, I'm Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. If you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media, and it is award season, and I thought I would make a little series reviewing the awards contenders, so this is the first one of those. This one I watched a couple weeks back. It is available to watch on Amazon Prime. I was lucky and watched it before they added ads to the service. Those fuckers. Physical media forever. Another point for them. Anyways, the film, I will go through a little bit what I thought of it. Like I said, I went into this knowing nothing about it outside of who made it and who was in it. I knew nothing about the story. I never watched the previews. I had seen other critics and people I follow in award season guff say that it was their favorite movie of the year or their second favorite movie of the year. Some people hated it. They said it was very vapid and fancy $3 word for you. So I was wondering where I'd fall. It seems kind of divisive. People who seem to like it a lot. And then other people just like, yeah, it has its merits, you know. It's one of those. Where did it land for me? Like I said in the opening, I thought this movie was surprisingly predictable, considering I heard it was so crazy and has such a great twist. You meet Barry Keoghan's character. He seems like a shy kid in college. This takes place in like 2006, if I remember right. And he immediately starts talking about how he knew Jacob Elordi's character. So I was like, oh, he ends up dead at the end of the movie, and how he loved him, blah, blah, blah. So immediately I knew he was going to end up dead. Whether it was an accident or he kills him, we're going to find that out during the movie. At about 5 minutes into the movie, during the same like opening speech, not even that long probably, they show a shot of Barry Keoghan standing outside of Jacob Elordi's dorm room or what have you, getting it on with some girl, creepily watching and smoking a cigarette. So less than 5 minutes into the movie, I go from, oh, he ends up being dead to, oh, Barry Keoghan's character is fucking crazy, and I can't trust anything this person says or does in the entire film from now on. Anything he says that goes on in the first act of the movie, I'm like, whatever, Barry. He's very good in the movie. I actually really enjoyed his character. He's very interesting. He's funny. How this movie is in the drama category at the Golden Globes, but made December is somehow a comedy, I have no idea. This movie should be a comedy at the Golden Globes, in my opinion. But Barry Keoghan got into Best Actor for drama at the Golden Globes, and that is very cool. Rosamund Pike got in for Supporting Actress, and that is very cool. But it didn't get in for Best Picture. Probably because it's in drama and it should have been in comedy, but that's another thing. So like I said, within minutes, you know he's crazy, and Jacob Elordi's character will end up dead. Somehow. The somehow is the going to be fun, hopefully interesting part of this movie. Eventually, they meet up, and Jacob Elordi is a fancy pants rich boy, and as far as we know, Barry Keoghan is a fatherless, kind of poor, only going to Cambridge, I believe, is the college, on a scholarship. So they think less of him because he's one of those poors. Jacob Elordi invites him to his family's estate called Saltburn. I didn't know what the hell Saltburn was until a third of the way through the movie. I'm like, oh, that's why it's called Saltburn. I thought it was just like a clever title about how salt hurts on wounds. But, it has multiple meanings. But it's literally called Saltburn. So once he gets to this place and you meet his family, his mother is Rosamund Pike, his dad is Richard E. Grant, his cousin, who also goes to the college, lives with him, and he's a little smart ass, and then he has a sister who lives there as well, and a creepy manservant who works there. As soon as they get to this place, I'm like, okay, so Barry Keoghan is going to squiggle his way into this family and somehow stay there forever, and by doing so, he's going to kill Jacob Elordi, kind of take his place. But how does he do this? So I already knew how the movie was going to end. He's a crazy son of a bitch who's going to kill at least one person and take over this family. I know that 30 minutes into this movie. It's the other stuff in the movie that makes it fun and worth watching. Like I said, it is surprisingly predictable, yet surprisingly, well, not to me because I've heard how risque and crazy it was. It's a pretty wild movie. It has its moments, I guess, especially if you're not into weird, gross shit like me. It might be a little much for some people, let's put it that way. I won't get into super specifics, but long story short, it is a very sharply funny movie. The characters are such asshole, rich, douchey people that you just hate them immediately. And even though you know for a fact Barry Keoghan is an insane person, you still want to see what he does to these people. And it's fun all along the way. I'll leave it at that. I won't spoil too much more than, basically. I basically spoiled the ending, but like I said, I knew the ending in 5 minutes. How we got there and what happens to these characters, that's the interesting part. So I highly recommend you watch Saltburn. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 personally. The biggest knock is that I knew the ending within minutes. And I don't even I'm not the kind of person who tries to guess twist endings. Yet this one I'm just like, okay, that's where it's going. And I was right. As far as its awards chances go, like I said, it has been nominated for Barry Keoghan at the Golden Globes for Best Actor in a drama. I say it should be a comedy. And it was only also nominated for supporting actress for Rosamund Pike, who is great in this movie. Her character is very funny. I like her as well. It didn't get into screenplay. It didn't get into Best Picture drama. It didn't get into anything else. At the Critics' Choice Awards, it managed to get into Best Picture. And the voting method for Best Picture is the critics put their top 3 movies of the year, and whatever math works out, the top 10 get nominated for Best Picture. Saltburn managed to be in enough people's top 3 of the year to get at least the 10th slot. So beyond that, you would expect it to get Barry Keoghan in there. You would expect it to get Rosamund Pike in there, but it didn't. It didn't get anything except for art direction and cinematography, which are both gorgeous, I will say. So as far as the actual Oscars go, it has a very long shot chance of getting into anywhere, I would say, because there is some tough competition in all of these categories this year. Supporting actress for Rosamund Pike, she's a former nominee. She should have won for Gone Girl, in my opinion. She could get in, but supporting actress, the top 2 or 3 slots are basically set. The bottom couple could be any of a dozen people, I'll be honest. If Saltburn catches on with the guilds, she could sneak in there, no problem, especially if she gets in a tag. Barry Keoghan, I have zero chance he's going to get into Best Actor, I think, honestly. It would be kind of cool if he did, but it's not going to happen. There's too many people above him who are getting nominated for lead actor in other films this year. He's just going to have to sit this one out. But hey, he was nominated last year for Banshees, so that's cool. Does he deserve it? Sure, as much as at least some other people, but it's just not going to happen. It could get in for screenplay, since there are 2 categories at the Oscars, adapted and original, but that is another category where there's just a lot of competition. And Emerald Fennell won in this category before for Promising Young Woman. Its predictability, in my opinion, hurts it as far as getting nominated for screenplay, and the fact that a lot of it's just shock value for shock value's sake potentially also hurts it. So I don't think it's going to get in for screenplay. The only 2 categories I really think it has a chance of getting in are art direction and cinematography, and I don't think it'll make it into either of those necessarily. If they do, it's gonna be like number 5, and it would be deserving if it got either or both of those. That would be awesome. And it has a chance, because of its maybe status in so many other categories, to get into Best Picture. It was able to do it at Critics' Choice. If it somehow gets in at the Producers Guild, which it won't, I think, then it will have a chance to get in at the Oscars for Best Picture, but I just don't see that happening. It is unlikely for a movie to get into Best Picture with only 2 craft categories nominated. It has almost happened in the past. Nightmare Alley got in with only 3. Same goes for Ford v Ferrari. So it's possible, but it's very unlikely. So that is pretty much what I think of Saltburn. That's the gist of it. It is a very funny movie. If you're not offended easily, I would say you should definitely give it a watch. Like I said, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Solid recommendation on Amazon Prime now with commercials. So I'm going to do some more of these for other awards contenders such as Oppenheimer and Barbie. Other than that, I'm going to have more Critics' Choice Award predictions, SAG Award predictions coming out. So that'll end it on this one. Once again, my name is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Talk shop pop, movies.